We start off today with a movement that is getting everyone from environmentalists to regular consumers questioning what they're consuming. Now, activists against genetically modified organisms are organizing a worldwide protest against the bio-giant Monsanto later this month. Now, on May 25th at 11 a.m. Pacific time, the March Against Monsanto is expected by organizers to hit over 250 cities across 6 continents. Now, this is coming on the heels of Congress' passage of what critics have coined the Monsanto Protection Act. Now, this is a bill that protects companies against the produce of genetically modified products from litigation. Well, RT contacted Monsanto, but the company did not provide a statement in time for this newscast. Now, in the press release from the event, Tammy Monroe-Cannell, the Seattle organizer, she said that she got into it because she was concerned for her 2 children, stating, "I feel Monsanto threatens their generation's health, fertility, and longevity. I couldn't sit by idly and wait for someone else to do something." Well, she certainly isn't alone in her sentiment. Activists from across 36 nations are organizing Facebook to make their voices heard. To understand more about what they're protesting against, I'm joined by Nick Barnaby. Now, he's the social director media for March Against Monsanto. Mr. Barnaby, I understand that you're an organizer. Tell me about these global protests. What has people so up in arms?
Well, we've been following the whole Monsanto and the way that they've been infiltrating the government and the way they've been kind of morphing into the government, and Monsanto has been morphing into basically one entity. And we do a lot of alternative media, and we've been following them for a long time now. But what really started getting people to realize something was going on was the passage of the Monsanto Protection Act, like you were saying earlier. And that's really gotten a lot of people to start questioning what's going on with these GMOs, and people are ready to start making a stand for their food supply.
Well, let's talk about that, Nick, that Monsanto Protection Act. It provides it has a really interesting spin. So it provides bioengineering companies freedom from liability if their products cause any harm or health issues to anyone. Now, what does that say about this relationship between those legislatures and the biotech companies like Monsanto?
Well, it's kind of scary because these companies and the government as well, they uphold the belief that GMOs are fine and that they're healthy and that they're good for us and that they're going to solve world hunger and things like this. But a big question that comes up when you see something like the Monsanto Protection Act is, why do they need to be protected from the law? Why are they putting themselves above the law? And who are these politicians that are willing to just do what they're told to do because of the money that they're receiving from these huge companies?
That's an excellent point. So talk to me about that relationship, Nick. You mentioned earlier that they were infiltrating the government. How so? Can you tell me what you meant by that?
Well, you have the director of the FDA. He's a former Monsanto employee. You have Clarence Thomas, a Supreme Court judge. He's a former Monsanto attorney. And, those are just the top 2. There's tons of just intertwining. And another thing they do is Monsanto will they'll hire former politicians, former congressmen to become lobbyists for their company. So they're really working the inside of Washington, D.C.
Okay. Well, at the heart of this, the bottom line, people just want to know what they're consuming. And we saw Monsanto spend millions of dollars to defeat that Proposition 37 in California where you are, which could have forced companies to put that label on GMO products. What sort of movement are you seeing in California with this?
Well, Californians were really they were really activated for the Prop 37, and there was tons of grassroots movement, and we had millions of people organized and ready to vote in favor of Prop 37. But like you said, there was millions of dollars coming in from companies like Monsanto to keep these laws from being passed. And in my opinion, the easiest way to know what's in your food is by growing your own food, and I think that's the legacy that we want to have people remember the March Against Monsanto for. Is we want to spread awareness about the new techniques that people can use, the technologies that people can use to start growing their own food, or if they can't grow their own, maybe start a community garden. If they can't do that, at least at the very least, support local farmers and buy organic.
Okay, excellent points there, Nick. I want to talk to you. We're running out of time here, but I want to talk to you about the company's bottom line. Even as this anti-Monsanto movement is growing, the company itself is continuing to generate skyrocketing profits, garnering 22% an increase in April alone since Congress's bill. Is this because consumers are going to the grocery store and buying their products blindly? Why is this?
Well, that's part of it. Another thing is that you see that Monsanto is also a huge beneficiary of what we call corporate welfare, and a lot of Monsanto's products are being subsidized by the government. A lot of the food that they have on that you can get with food stamps and with EBT, a lot of the poor people, they can't really afford to make a choice between organic and GMO. So a lot of the stuff that you see on food stamps is all GMO stuff, and one of the most disturbing things is almost all of the baby formula that they have is all GMO. So it's a pretty scary thing if you think about it like that.
A lot of information. Quickly tell me, Nick, what do you want these protests to accomplish?
Well, like I was saying, we want to spread awareness, and we want to start from the ground up. So the easiest thing you can do to know what's in your food is to grow your own food. We start there. At the very top is, we want labeling and a ban, but I think we should work from the ground up to have the best results.
We've got to leave it there, Nick. That was the March Against Monsanto's director and for social media, Nick Burnaby.
Thank you.